Yes. Okay, there we are. Hello, everybody. It is good to see you. It seems like it's been forever. I know it hadn't been that long, but it's been a little while. So I am here. I've got at least, well, I've got my three friends, all three of them. There's Ruby, fresh back
Hey,
from down under. There's Todd from Texas. There's Wayne from over in Great Britain. And we're just going to have
Good
a good
evening.
time. Hi, guys. Ruby, you're going dim there.
I'm going dim.
Oh, me. Yeah, you're okay. You're okay. Um, I don't know. Anyway, there we go. I'm back. I was deciding sometime what I was going to do, and I kind of thought back when I turned that piece of resin, I knew what I was going to do, and then I changed my mind and was going to do something else. But I'm back to the original plan, and if I change cameras to that one, you can see I've got an odd shaped. And I was going to say something about this earlier, Todd. That's some of that Kentucky ebony, otherwise known as black walnut, on the lathe. This is a cutoff of a piece that I did a while back. It's been 2, maybe 3 months ago. This is a cutoff off the side of the same log, and you can see whatever that lump is, it's off center, and so we're gonna. I don't think it's burl, but it should have some neat grain patterns in it. There's a little bit that you can see right through there, some odd looking grain. There's really not much over here other than this dark streak. There's a little bit, looks like a little bit of ring shank there. So this may have been a branch. This part here may have been a branch that broke off, left caused a little bit of shank or shake, whatever that word is. But we may get out of that. So that's what I'm hoping anyway. So I'm going to get going. I've already sharpened up my tools. I'm between centers. I've got a step center in the headstock, in the chuck, whatever that thing's called, and my live center on that side. I don't. It's been too long since I've talked about this stuff. I can't remember what things are. Anyway, in this piece of walnut, it's not a huge piece. It should come out kind of nice. But we're going to work on this, and while I start working on it, I'm going to let whoever drew the short straw. I wasn't privy to who drew the short straw, but they're going to tell us who all's in the chuck, or in the chat, that thing. Okay.
Okay, who's volunteering?
first one to
Well,
speak up.
I'm going to volunteer with both of you.
All right, okay. Thank you. Right, here we go. We've got Larry in. Good evening, Larry. Obviously, Ruby's here. Let's see. Let's start going down. This chat is going to jump.
Next
There
on
it
my
went.
list was Ronald Todd.
I'm still going down. Yeah, Ron's here from the West Bank of New Jersey. Todd at Glen Cove. Deal, Old Man River. Mike from Dancers. Doug Bennett, good evening. Heather's in. Oh yeah, Heather. Thomas Kenny. I'm still going down. Al's in. Afternoon, Al. Anthony Green. Roger Wallum. Ward Wilson from the west coast of Arizona. That always gets me, that one does. Tim Ponder. Jenny's in. Evening, Jenny. So, oh, that's me at the bottom.
Yeah, I think if you didn't hear your name, we missed you. Type it. Let us know we missed you. We'll mention you.
Looks like you guys missed the exit too.
Not a big deal. I just knocked it loose.
Yeah,
In
it
park,
wouldn't be a Doug live if it stayed on the lathe all night.
Like I said, I was the tailstock was in bark, and I hit it too hard with my tool and knocked it right out. So we're gonna put it back in that same bark hole and tighten it down just a little better. But we'll get out of that bark here shortly. I'm almost there now. There we go. Perfect.
Ward makes a good point. Avoid the end of the live rush and smash the like button now.
There you go.
Thanks for
Good to
reminding
have you,
everybody,
bud.
Ward.
Good to have everybody in today. It's been a couple of weeks since I was able to go live. I know next week I can't because we leave Tuesday morning to go for my son's wedding, which is not till Saturday, but my son asked me to smoke a Boston butt for the rehearsal dinner. And then he and this fiance both love cheesecake.
Doug, we're hearing a lot of noise from the lathe, which is sort of cutting out your audio a wee bit.
Yeah, who's a little soft?
Let me see here.
I think I also heard it when you were sharpening your tools as well.
Okay. See if I can do something about it. Oh, I see what's going on. Or do a. Okay, we're on the virtual camera, so we're good there. I'm on the camera microphone. Where's my other one? There it is.
That sounds better to me already.
Yeah.
Sound better to you guys?
Yeah, we'll hear you.
Okay, very good. Like I
So
said,
tell me about this. You doing pulled pork?
I am doing pulled pork. That'll be first thing in the morning. I'll put Boston butt and some pork loin in the smoker, and it'll cook all day, or pretty much all day. And then once it's done, it'll sit to rest for a while, and then we'll pull it. We like Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce, so
I do too.
we'll use some Sweet Baby Ray's. Some, not a lot. I won't completely sauce it. I'm going to let people do some of their own. But she's going to take slider buns and all that fun stuff. And nachos. We'll have nachos and cheese and smoked pork. Those folks who like to do nachos.
Grand.
There's a rub that they sell at Academy Sports, I think is what it is. Big Mo Cason's pork rub. Oh, is it so good on pulled pork? But that's neither here nor there. I already had lunch and I'm getting hungry.
I understand.
So Jenny's asking how everyone is. Not too bad at the moment, Jennifer. Thank you for asking. And
great,
Mike
Jen.
Evans has just come in. He's a bit late. And what is Doug up to tonight? Doug is turning a piece of black walnut.
Yeah.
Which is, well, there it is. You can see it now.
Yeah. It's we on Wednesday night have affectionately started calling it Texas Ebony or Kentucky Ebony. Kind of fun.
And Doug, we lost track of where we were. You were starting to tell us about this project you're making for your son.
Oh yeah. The wedding cake stand. It's going to be walnut too, and I just got the walnut today for it. I thought about doing it out of some walnut that we cut down in his yard, but it is way too green. So I went and bought 2 boards, and I'm kind of excited about getting it cut up after a while and gluing it so that I can turn it tomorrow. This is one of the few times since I started my part-time job that I have 2 days in a row off. I love it.
So
I have
Mike
to say,
go on,
go
Todd.
ahead. Oh, I was going to say, Ronald Todd had me there. He said, I tried donating blood today. Never again. Too many stupid questions. Whose blood is it? Where'd you get it? Why is it in a bucket?
Was in a bucket. Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, and Mike from Dancers said, I suck. I'm resetting my wood turning, gone back to basics.
Okay. You've lost me.
Yeah, well, I don't know if that's if that was a comedic comment. I don't get it. But if he is going back to basics, I think I'd prefer to see his wild imaginings.
Yeah, sometimes you have to go back to basics.
Yeah, if that's what he's talking about, okay, I understand. Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
go
the-
back
Too
to them.
big.
I live in them. That's where I spend my time, the basics.
Mike has also said there could be an unformed branch inside that lump. He's never turned one, but came across them doing tree surgery. Now, I actually saw that when Doug first started doing this. It looked like there was an unformed branch.
Could be.
Yeah, we'll find out, won't we?
Yeah. I'm just right this second. I'm trying to get my tenon down to the right size, and I'm looking over on the other side at the chuck. That step center allows those jaws to close to the perfect size, and I'm still too big. It's crazy.
And
LG Woodworks has just come in.
I'm
welcome
sorry,
out.
who is that?
LG Woodworks.
Okay. Welcome aboard. We're glad to have you. And I shared with, I don't know, I know I shared with Ruby. It might have been the rest of them. I've got some good news. My part-time job that I took that's keeping me so terribly busy is about to change. Um, I'm still with the same company, still with the same group, but I'm changing to what they call
Full
it's
time.
part of the, well, it's still part-time. It's always been part-time, but they call it truck. And what I'll be doing is going in early in the morning, like at 6 o'clock, 6:30, somewhere in there. I'll get off earlier in the day, and my schedule will become regular, which it hasn't been at all since I started this thing. I enjoy the work, I enjoy the arc, but the scheduling was nuts. So
Yeah.
I think
Hey,
I'm in the right size now. Okay, now I can have fun turning.
Right. LG Woodworks has said it's Todd. I'm gonna get this totally wrong again.
Lajeunesse.
Lahinas. He met
Lajeunesse.
Doug at
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Dayton Woodcraft during his Easy Wood demonstration.
Yes. And Todd, I will be there again this Saturday.
Oh dear, Ward says that he had a freak storm and his whole shop got 4 inches of water and mud.
Oh
It's
no.
been for a month and he's still cleaning it out. He just
Yeah.
got the electricity back and should be back turning soon.
I
Sorry to
feel
hear
for
that.
you. I really feel for you, Ward. I've been there a few times. And Katie's just come in, along
Hi,
with
Katie.
the tiniest wood turner, and that's Rowan, or Rowan, however you pronounce it.
Well, hi, Katie. Oh, that must be the new one. Is that your new one, Katie?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Okay, all right. That would be the tiniest wood turner. See if I can get a little more speed going here.
Yeah. And
Oh yeah.
Todd's not sure he'll be able to join you on the weekend.
Oh, Todd, it's not going to Dayton if you're not there.
Yes, Ward. That is a nightmare I wouldn't wish on anyone. And by the way, if anyone is from where all the flash floods are, I hope you are safe.
I agree.
Now, Todd, how far away is that from you?
Oh, 4 and a half hours.
Okay.
4 hours.
All right.
Yeah, it's quite
Yeah.
a ways from me.
Yeah, Texas is a big state, and a lot of people don't realize
is.
how big it is. But yes, it's that flooding there in Texas is horrible.
Yeah, Todd of Glen Cove has said here in Texas we lost 100 plus folk, and nearly an equal amount still missing, I think.
Yeah, and we're starting to hear stories of girls that were at that camp that just, from all over the place, just everywhere, just really sad. And the good news is, I guess there were almost 500 of them there. And so most of them, were rescued, but
Yeah, but even
wow.
so.
Yeah, no
Pretty
good,
scary.
no good news in that, no good news in that, but that's the
Right. Did hear a report of a girl that was rescued yesterday. She had
Yeah,
been washed away, and they found her. She'd been in a tree for 3 hours when they found her.
yeah, I think she'd been washed so many miles down the river as well. That's
Yes, like 15 miles or something.
yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Now this
Now
section here,
oh, sorry, go on, Doug.
I was just gonna say this section here is the low spot, and so it's giving me a bit of a fit. And the rest of it is turning pretty nice. I do have this place. That's something we were seeing before, but I didn't realize it's a bad place. So we'll probably end up taking that completely out. Now, go ahead, Wayne.
You could,
Right, LG said he just upgraded to a saw stop. He got distracted in the shop and tapped his thumb against the blade. Got real lucky. The blade was barely above the wood. Yeah, did the saw stop work? That's what I want to know.
Or was that the reason you got the stall stop?
Oh, right, yeah. I never even thought of that.
Yeah, right. That could go either way there. Lucky you already had it, or good reason to go get it.
now, Doug,
Billy
Mike,
Woodworks is. Oh, sorry, go on, Ruby.
Mike is warning you that barky tenon could come off right quick, and I think he's right. And if you want to eliminate that low spot, what you could do is take the tenon right down and move your tail center a little bit, okay, from where we're looking at it, a little bit to the right where it's heavier, so that the low center will get cut out faster.
Right. Could do that. Yeah, that's well, this live center is sinking down into the bark. I'm into wood now. It's so deep.
Yeah, but I would be tempted to make a shallower bowl and put another tenon on, and just take that
move
uh,
the center on that.
off.
So your tenon's all in wood.
I think you're right. Yeah, it's got to go deeper anyway. Sure does.
We're speaking from experience.
Oh yeah. I've been there myself.
Billy Woodworks has come in, and also Michael McEwen as well.
Hi, Chris and Michael.
And Todd said that's the reason he got his saw stop.
All right, I understand now, Todd. Understand.
I've seen a few people actually still get cut by a saw stop. In fact, one was at Harrogate, Wayne, when I was there.
The funny thing about the saw stop when you were at Harrogate, because they had their stand type of thing actually outside the arena, and Rob from Klingspo, we were all sitting about having a coffee outside and everything, and Rob, because they advertised the saw stop using a hot dog.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I've seen the hot dog demo in person. It's pretty.
Yeah, and Rob turned around and said, "Why would you want to be cutting hot dogs on a table saw?"
Yeah.
Doug, did that just get worse?
It's exposing the bad wood. I'm gonna have to go back that far, probably almost to the very top of this bad section.
Yeah.
It's bad wood in there.
Then it's a good
Which-
thing you found it.
Absolutely, yeah.
And Carsten's just come in. Evening, Carsten.
Hey,
Ronald
Carsten.
Todd has said, just to give people perspective, I used to travel through Texas years ago. I would enter Texas when the sun was coming up and leave when it was going down. Non-stop, 70 mile an hour. And that was just a day trip to go to the grocery store.
Yeah,
He never said that, I did.
It's the trip back that gets you because you're just worn out from all the shopping. There's no doubt about that.
Holy cow.
It's 11 hours from my house in Dallas to El Paso.
Wow. Wow.
Dear me.
Maybe,
And Mike
maybe
has
you
said,
look,
yeah, the Mike has said that does look like a branch inclusion, and they are usually quite rotten.
Yes,
Now,
on
Alan
both.
Jones has just come in. He said, a very good evening to all from Kefalonia in Greece. He nearly forgot I'm 2 hours ahead, and he thought he'd missed it. No, you haven't, Alan. No, we're still going. We've only been going 20 minutes.
My daughter was in Delphi and Athens a week ago. Over in Greece. Had a great time.
and Dale says there are places where there's no speed limit in Texas.
No speed limit?
Yeah, I haven't
Yeah,
seen those, but you know, it's 80 mile an hour out there in a lot of places, no doubt about
Right.
that.
When we went to
Yeah,
Oklahoma.
There's places in Germany like that.
Well, yeah.
Or they used
Germany,
to be.
yes.
Yeah, that was fun.
I've got a friend who was almost killed on the Audubon when he was in the Army. Yes, this is extremely. I'm going to have to get that all the way out. I'm going to have to go all the way up here. That is
Maybe you want to start on your cake stand.
Well, it's got to be glued, Ruby. That's the bad thing.
Doug, can I make a suggestion?
Sure, go ahead.
Flip it.
Oh, save it right now and flip it. Yeah.
I was just thinking. Okay, excuse me. I had to cough. I was just thinking the same thing. So, oh my!
And,
Did y'all see?
and Mike
It's like a sponge.
Watch that real easy.
Mike from Dances had the same idea as well.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna go clip that little nub off right there. In fact, I may. No, I'm just gonna cut the nub off, and I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right. Walk the 15 miles to my bandsaw, and then if I can reach the switch. Okay, I'm gonna mute myself before I turn that on.
This is one of the things I like about Doug's lives.
You never know what to expect.
You never know what to expect, but it's always a learning experience in how to get around things.
Well, it's great to have people point out what might be obvious to them that is, you know, totally oblivious to me, to, stop and flip it. Or, undercut the rim. Right? Right?
Yeah.
Wayne?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a conversation that we had before we started.
All right. Crush all that other stuff down real tight, and this will make all the difference in the world.
Yeah, it's probably going to turn out a much smaller bowl, and it might even turn out to have a bit of a natural edge.
Maybe with that little bit of bark right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see how it works. Okay, we're at 835 RPMs. So it's a decent speed.
And Mike said he does like it when a branch inclusion rots totally away and leaves a hollow. It's very interesting, and he does remember turning one now. I think I've turned a few, to tell you the truth, Mike.
I turned about 4 or 5 in a row. excuse me, had a branch that had rotted through, and I intentionally turned them with the hollow going across the ways.
Yes.
They turned out really, really nice.
I'll be right back, folks.
Okay, Ruby.
I hope this trip is shorter than her last one.
Hopefully she's just got to put the kettle on.
All right. Turning, I'm getting some decent shavings, but turning this just reminds me how much I'm going to enjoy this green walnut that I've got out back. And it's going to be so much fun when I get to it.
Yeah, and Ronald said you have to work with what the good Lord gives you. And Carsten has said he agrees with Mike. He's made some birchwood vases with rotten inclusions that ended up looking really interesting. I think they always do, Carsten, to tell you the truth.
There's a bit of rot right there. Interesting. That's the thing with these. This was a whatever it is, a scar or whatever. You just don't know what's inside until you get into it. Usually.
Yeah, and Mike's replied to Carsten saying you can never find one when you want it, though. Yeah, that's true as well.
Yeah. Exactly. What am I hitting? It's cutting along and all of a sudden it goes to bumping. It's the edge of that. There's a branch pith right there, and I'm hitting the edge of it down here. That's what I'm hitting.
I'm back.
All right.
We
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
say or do anything while you were gone. We didn't want you to miss out.
I could still hear you, Todd. And yes, this was a shorter trip.
All right, now let's shape that tenon a little bit. Sorry, y'all can't see that, but
No, that's okay.
What happened to your tail camera?
oh, nothing. I just
You just
you couldn't
didn't.
see it. You couldn't see it from there either.
Okay.
Let's see, just you could have seen what I was not what I was doing, but you could have seen the results as I was doing them.
Right.
But anyway, just making the tenon there, getting it shaped up. This is like we said, it's going to end up being a smaller bowl, but it will make it. That tool, we just sharpened that, and it's already dull. It's just odd.
No, if you've got a lot of silica on the wood, that quite often will happen.
Yeah, that's my Doug Thompson is. It usually holds up a little better than that.
Well, I kind of misbehaved myself while I was visiting one of the Australian clubs. I was watching the one young man working on a bowl, and he had his tool rest way too high, and I couldn't help myself. I had to go over and help him. Otherwise, it looked like an accident looking for a place to happen.
Yeah. Sometimes you've got to do that, Ruby.
That's for sure.
Well, the
Mine just
worst
gets
part
too far
was,
away.
yeah, the worst part was his ball gouge wasn't sharpened very well. And I think that was part of the problem.
Oh my! I was watching a video this morning, and before I went to get my wood, and the guy's tool was so dull he couldn't cut for anything. And finally, after he's tried 4 or 5 times, 4 or 5 passes, and it's not cutting worth beans. Finally, he says, "I wonder if it'll do any better if I sharpen." Because he goes over and sharpens his tool, and he comes back, and there's just these huge ribbons go flying as soon as he gets back. I'm thinking to myself, yeah, most of us have been telling you for 10 minutes already that your tool is dull.
Oh dear.
Either that or you got it in reverse.
Oh my.
Oh, I've done that before. Oh, God, I sharpened every single tool, every gouge I had, and none of them would cut. And then I realized it was going in reverse.
I'll take you one step further, Wayne. I not only resharpened 4 or 5 tools, I got out the carbides, and it still wouldn't cut. Still wouldn't cut. I'm going to not worry about that. That might become interesting when we do the inside.
It
Yeah, you
could.
could.
Now, the thing I was thinking about that bit, Doug, is when you come to do the outside, depending on the thickness of the bowl, that would actually carve out with a Dremel or a similar type of tool.
Yes, sir. It very well may. You're exactly. We're thinking alike here.
Or you could solidify it with some epoxy.
There you go again with that epoxy business. Did you
Well,
not see my bowl? I did a resin bowl just for you, Ruby.
well, that now that you're an experienced resin turner,
Even more reason not to do it.
Yeah, I thought that bowl came with a promise not to do any more of them.
I got done with that and I took it out. I showed my wife. She says, well, when I showed her the blank, she said that would have been pretty if you left the no color in the resin. And after it was done, I took it out and showed it to her, and she says, "That's not bad. I wish it was clear, but that's not bad at all."
well, at
So
least
now
you
it's
was
at the shop. Yeah, now it's at the shop. It's for sale. Several people have looked at it. They oohed and all over it properly, and so I'm happy. But I'll be even happier when somebody pulls out that $100 bill and gives it to the lady and says, "I want to take this home." And the lady that runs the shop, she loves my work. She is a natural wood kind of person. She's like my wife. She'd rather see the natural wood than the color most of the time. And even with this, she said, "That's just gorgeous. I might have to take it home." I said, "Well, you see the price on it. I can't lower it, unfortunately." She always says, "That'd be great, and it would sell if you could go a little lower on that." But honestly, my prices in my shop are as low as they can go. And that resin piece, I've got $100 on it. I've got $30 in resin in it. So
Yeah, that's it. That's
I
it.
cannot
Haley
go
has
lower.
joined us. Welcome, Haley.
Hey,
Good
Haley.
evening, Haley.
Glad to see all of you. It really is good to have everybody in the chat tonight or this afternoon, wherever you happen to live.
Yeah, it's hard for a lot of people to gain an appreciation for wood, real wood, fine woods in projects and what the price of that wood would be, because they see so much stuff at a Walmart or something that was made with sawdust and a prayer or something,
Right.
and they think that's what wood costs, and you go, man, it cost me twice that much just to buy the wood.
Yeah.
You know, Doug, I found the Easy Wood Rougher takes those down really fast.
I hear you.
He's decided to do this as a feature, and he's going to make it hold a little ring up there.
I
Okay.
don't think it look that nice. No, it won't look that
Yeah,
nice.
that'd be horrible.
That's there's some solid wood up to here. You know, this side is all solid, but this side is not. In fact, you see it. That's right in the center. It's bad.
I'd almost take a parting tool and just go in from the bottom of that big piece.
Yeah, could
Now,
do that.
Ward is asking, what is with the crown and hashtag numbers next to some chats? That's for people who are engaging all the time, Ward. So if you put lots and lots of chats in, you'll end up getting a crown and a hashtag.
You think
Yeah.
it'll add the crown during a given chat, or he has to come back multiple times?
I think you've got to come back. I think you've got to keep on chatting.
And because it's weird, because he's got a crown and a number 3 next to his name in one thing, but not in another on my
Yep.
screen.
Put
Yeah.
it this way, it's YouTube. What do you expect?
Yes, that was new to me when I first saw it a while ago. I'd not seen it before.
Yeah, but Dale has said that's like the penny just turned, that needs to sell for $50. That's what the blank and the kit cost. So
Yeah.
I mean, for that type of thing, you're not making any profit at all. You're not
Right.
taking into account your time. You're not taking into account your electricity. You're not taking into account your finishing and everything. But that if that's all it'll sell for, that's all it'll sell for.
Right. There are people who have stopped turning certain things because there's no profit in it. And I understand that. I hate that for them, but it's the way it is. I don't sell a lot because I think I put what I think is a fair price. Yet I see other people in other parts of the country who sell the
Right.
same thing for 3 times what I put, the price I put on stuff. But that's part of it is where you live.
It is. It's where you live. It's what type of shows you do.
Yeah.
If you do shows, it's what type of shop you're in, where the shop is located. It's all these different things. I used to do a lot of fairs, and I could actually change my prices from Dumfries to if I was doing a fair in Glasgow or Edinburgh. I'd certainly put my prices up if I was doing a fair in Glasgow and Edinburgh. And I think that's the same with everything. It all depends on where you are. If you
Right.
look at the likes of the recent AAW symposium and some of Rebecca de Groot's work, I mean, one of her pieces went for £2,400.
Wow.
Dollars, I should say. Sorry.
Yeah. Right.
And one of Stuart Farini's went for I think $350. I don't think Stewart would have gotten $350 for that if he was in the UK.
I think that's why I prefer to teach rather than do, like the production work I do is mostly things like balusters, newel posts, and stuff like that. But for regular turning, I prefer to teach instead. Like while I was in New Zealand and Australia, I taught a fellow, started out, he wanted to learn how to turn, so we started him out with a pen. And I explained right from the beginning that the reason I start beginners with a pen is that it's not that difficult and they get something they can keep fairly quickly. And the look on his face when he finished turning his 4th pen was priceless. And better yet was when he went in the house and right away his wife and 2 sons laid claim to him.
That is
Like
good.
that look on his face and the feeling he had from doing that That's why we do it. So.
For those folks who are keeping track, I've gone to the number 1 hollower on the inside here. It's doing a great job.
There must be some very dry stuff in there, Doug. 'Cause sometimes you're getting shavings, sometimes you're getting dust.
Yeah. Well, yes, I've got the dry wood, and then I hit the rotten stuff. I'm just about. I still got. Get it where you can see it. All this stuff in the bottom here, that's rotten, all the way around here. And underneath the center section, there's some great wood there. I think it's going to be very pretty when we get it finished getting it hollowed out.
Well, I think it's a really good thing you turned it around.
I think so too. That is not an unusual thing to have to do. When you got unknown wood,
That's
sometimes
true.
you have to just get into it and change the plan.
In this case, it probably let you make a bowl that was an inch and a half, taller than what you would have.
Yeah.
Nah, he probably would have lost the whole bowl.
Yeah,
Yeah,
possibly.
I think you probably
Very,
would, to tell you the
very
truth.
possible. Very possible it would have just blown up. Let's see, just for fun. I don't know if this cutter is sharp or not, but
No, Doug, just for fun, you're not allowed to blow it up.
no, just for fun,
Yeah.
we're gonna get the rougher out. You've been
Yeah,
asking for it.
Ronald has said, be careful not to get too aggressive. The edge
Right.
looks a bit sketchy and lots of dust.
I agree with him. Yeah, I find just for that kind of thing, the rougher quite often is the best tool to go in.
Now some of these shavings are just as black as they can be, and that's some rot that's down inside of this walnut.
So Mike has said, right at the start, you could have tapped that with a mallet and worked out where the dead wood was. Not sure if that's useful though.
I don't know if I could have or not. I have knocked on it some, and it didn't show a whole lot of signs of problems. But you never know. You never know. Yeah, we've got 90% of that. Wayne, that place we were talking about, I think is going to open up naturally for us.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of excited about it. Got to go a little thinner. There.
Now, Wayne, are you doing a live tomorrow?
I haven't decided yet, Ruby.
Okay.
He was out about 15 minutes before he goes on.
We'll all be here.
No, it's not a lot of motivation at the moment.
Okay. All right. Yeah, this is going to be quite nice.
Well, you are allowed to be human, Wayne.
Cheers, Ruby. I think Jim might call me something different.
Well, you'll have to pick between who you want to listen to, myself or Jamie.
No, Jane, I said, not Jamie.
Oh,
Oh, I thought you said Jamie too, and I'm like, well, you have to be careful what JP says anyway. Um, he's not here. I won't talk. I won't. I won't try to give him trouble when he's not here.
Oh, why not?
Well, I mean that's not fair.
Well, you have to
Oh.
look at it this way. Just pretend that I'm there and telling you in the back of your head that you're hearing.
Oh no, but there's an idea. Mike has said that he misses me doing miniatures and stuff like that. I haven't done miniatures in years. Andy Phillips has just put a video out doing miniatures.
I don't think if I've ever seen you doing miniatures.
Oh yes, I've done a miniature box in a box in a box,
Mhm.
which I actually sent over to Yuval in Rome.
Okay.
Just using my digital calipers here to check my sides. I'm still thick, right about there down. So, yeah.
How
Well,
small
go ahead
does it have to be a miniature?
Oh God, I'd have to look up the photograph that I did. The smallest box I did was I think under half an inch, which fitted inside a box, which was obviously a bit bigger, which fitted inside another box, which was still a bit bigger, but they were all very, very small.
Now, as Mike points out, Wayne, you have to be in the mood to turn, but we're always in the mood to watch you.
Exactly.
Thank you, Mike.
That's very true.
That's very much appreciated. Thank you very much.
Very much true. Let's see. COVID was 2020, so probably since 2018, maybe 19. I've been watching you, and
Well, during COVID, there was sometimes I was doing five lives a week.
yes, you were, and I was watching every
COVID.
one of them. Took me a while to figure out all this, the chat business and getting subscribed and registered and all that. Once I figured out that you had to be registered to subscribe, oh my, I didn't miss a one.
Now, Jennifer has said that Wayne Gilbert, that's Wayne Bigfoot Woodcrafts, does loads of lovely miniatures. He does. He does lots of dioramas. I have got one of his dioramas that he did especially for me. With it's actually got a depth gauge on it for the floodwaters coming up.
I think I've been working my way towards miniatures, but I'm not there yet. Yeah, I'm doing a lot of little things that are small little bowls that are 2.5 inches wide by 1.5 inches tall or something,
Mm-hmm.
or little goblets that are 2 inches tall, 3 inches tall or something. Just the forms and whatnot. But I don't think I'm at the miniature state yet.
Mike has said a woman in one of the wood turning groups did a good YouTube demo of making miniatures last week, and Jennifer said that she saw the diorama that Wayne did for me. That was the brilliant diorama that was, to tell you the truth.
At some point, I have a cousin up in Missouri. Her and her husband both turn, and they're both phenomenal turners. And he gave me a miniature of a little hollow form that he did that was 1.25 inches tall or something. And you take a picture of this thing, and it looks like it's a 14-inch tall vase. And
yeah,
just absolutely amazing work and amazing detail and the finish, and it's hollowed out. I don't know how he hollowed it out when there's like the hole in the top of it is like 1/8 of an inch or something. It's just ridiculous. I was thinking because of that the other day that I would like to suggest maybe sometime for like at Worldwide Woodturners or something, if there's a lull in the gallery, that we do a section on showing off other people's work that we have. Because I would love to show people what he does and brag on him, because oh my goodness, inspiring to me.
Sure.
Sounds like
Mike-
a great idea, but I'm
Go on,
afraid.
Ruby.
But you might get somebody complaining about being a show off.
Now, Mike has said this woman he was talking about. He hasn't put a name in or anything, or which group she was in. She makes miniature reproductions of museum pieces, in 1/6 to 1/12 scale. That's sort of dollhouse. The 1/12, I believe, is sort of dollhouse scale.
I don't think I would be interested in that, to be honest with you.
And Jennifer said that she misses my lives. Thank you, Jennifer.
Well, a lot of
Appreciate it.
people miss your lives, Wayne. Haven't
Absolutely.
you figured that out yet?
Yeah, but the thing is, I'm not doing anything new. I'm just doing stuff that I do.
And that's exactly what people want to see.
Sure. Sure.
There's nothing wrong with old, just like there's nothing wrong with old people.
Yeah, like my T-shirt says, Ruby. It's really weird being the same age as old people.
I was thinking about you in that saying this morning because it applies to me too.
Well, tell you the truth, it's really weird being me.
I got news for you. It's weird being me too.
One of my favorite quotes out of a movie was a guy who said, "It's not easy being me." And I thought, yeah, that probably applies to everybody.
That's the little green guy that said that, wasn't it? When that
Tony
Kermit.
Turns Wood has just come in. He said
Hey,
he
Tony.
snuck in late. He said he snuck in late, but well, you might have thought you snuck in, but since how you put something in the chat, you didn't sneak in.
That's right.
And
Your sneaker done snuck.
Alan Jones says that wood's going to really pop when you put the finish on it.
Yeah,
I
think it is as well.
I think so. We're almost there. Nothing else, we'll get some sanding sealer on it that'll show it out a little bit. It's getting nice and smooth, I know that.
Tony has replied about the sneaking in. Dang, didn't think about that.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yep, that'll be great.
Yeah, Todd said there's only 15 thumbs up.
Those both go all the way through, or just that one right there?
This one goes. That ring goes all the way through to the other side.
Yeah, I would personally, I would fill it with epoxy colored black or something. Or if you want to make it a feature, then use a turquoise or something.
No, see, I'm totally the opposite, Ruby. I would actually carve all of that bit out with a Dremel.
Yeah, but who wants a hole?
Oh, well, who doesn't?
Well, I think we can both answer that question.
Right, Ward has said that he's got a ghost in his bathroom. Every time he looks in the mirror, this old guy blocks his view.
He's in my bathroom too.
You're lucky I get an old lady in mine.
Back to this bowl. I don't know if anybody's going to be wanting to eat soup out of it anyway. So
no, it's not a soup bowl for sure.
Might hold popcorn though.
Yeah, it'll do that.
It'll still hold popcorn if you carve it out.
Might hold some Werthers too.
And it supplies some of that popcorn for your pet.
No, there's a good point too.
We had a dog that would eat popcorn as fast as Connie would give it to him. That dog died. We got these two cats. They won't touch a piece of popcorn. They won't even play with it.
Really?
No, they won't touch it. They'll go sniff it. And that's as far as it goes.
Oh, Doug, cats are weird.
This is true. They are. They are very weird.
Well, my neighbor's dog down the street, she'll steal your corn on the cob right off your plate if you're not looking.
Wow. Dogs are funny. Most of them will eat just about anything. You know what? I think, Wayne, I think you're on to something here. I think that needs a little bit of grinding out.
Little
If
persuasion.
I can find, here it is. Oh,
You see, I just say things right off the top of my head, and for some reason, people pick them up.
Yeah. Oh,
I said that to
now.
Ward before we started. Ward showed us a bowl where he'd used some Joe Sonia's iridescent paints, and he
Or maybe
said,
Todd did that.
"Oh, sorry, Todd. Yeah, sorry, Todd. Sorry about that. That's my age in my memory." And he said, I haven't finished it yet. I was going to reverse it on the coal jaws, but the rim's just about an 1/8 inch too big to fit on the coal jaws. And I said to him, "Have you undercut the rim on the inside?" And he said, "No." And I said, "Well, if you undercut the rim on the inside, you'll be able to fit the coal jaws on the inside."
Yep.
Oh, he said.
There's like a light bulb, an explosion went off in my office when you said that. I was just like, because I had sat there contemplating undercutting that rim anyway, because I didn't want that rim to get any smaller. I didn't want to lose any more of that paint, and I was wanting to, keep the walls a little thinner. So I was contemplating undercutting it anyway. And then when you said that, I was like, well, duh. I'm sorry for you and Ruby. Duh means really?
Oh yes, I know what "duh" means.
Hey, don't forget, Todd, I taught school, so I learned what duh means. It was just the light that went off in your shop was so bright it hit all the way to Canada.
It probably did. I'm surprised the police didn't show up outside wanting to know what happened.
Those grow lights for those plants you got in the basement.
Right? Yeah. I'm assuming that's illegal here. I have no idea.
In Texas, it probably is.
Jane was watching a police program earlier on when I went through, and there was this the policeman, I think, who had gone to search this house, and I think the neighbour came out and said, "Watch out for the dogs." He says, "Don't worry." He says, "I can sort the dogs out." And he had a plastic container full of chicken, so he ended up feeding the dogs to get into the house. Then he went up into the loft, and the whole loft was filled with cannabis plants. An enormous amount of cannabis plants, and there was £1,000 a plant.
Wow.
They used to be illegal here, and now it's legal. Doug, what kind of burr are you using there? Could you show us, please?
Good question. It's like a little sanding burr, but it's not changeable. It's worn out completely, but it's enough for what we're doing here. All I'm doing is taking out the rot. So, all right, now,
what? Before you start, what are you spraying on?
what am I spraying on? It's conversation starter.
Sanding sealer.
Yeah, but what brand and all the rest?
This is Mohawk Tone Finish Lacquer Sanding Sealer. It's one of the few sanding sealers that I can still get, a lacquer sanding sealer that I can get in a spray can. There are some others, but this is the easiest one to get hold of right now. There are
Mohawk,
some others.
they make a nice range of lacquer, spray, and sanding sealers. And
They do. They do.
If you're a guitar maker, their lacquers are very
Yes. This is the
very
kind that you
revered
use
for
on a
that.
guitar.
Yeah.
It's got some flex to it.
Well,
Okay,
when I used to refinish golf clubs, that was what we used for refinishing clubs. That's back in the day when they were still made of wood.
yeah.
Boy, that's
Couple
really
areas.
going dark.
Yeah,
It
there's
has.
a couple of areas that's really soaking it in. It's just dry as it can be. But you got the idea now. It's a pretty piece of wood. It's going to have a lot of character. I will probably, at this point, what I'll probably do, I'll probably knock this back after it dries for about 10 minutes. Knock it back with the Web Rex, Nyweb. What do we call this stuff, Todd?
Scouring pad, white scrubby.
Scotch Brite.
Scotch-Brite. Yeah.
That's
Scotch
it.
Brite, yeah.
It goes by several names, depends on what company you buy it from. But anyway, I'll knock this back, put another good coat of sanding sealer on it, knock that back, then we'll go with spray lacquer. And for lacquer, I've gone to another brand. I was using the Mate to this, but I've gone to the Seymour High Tech. It's a little cheaper, and it builds beautifully. It's not so thick though. It's not like the double thick or triple thick stuff.
How quick does it flash off?
About like anything else that I've ever used. Any of the other lacquers.
Like the Deft or
Yeah, it's about the same as the
Hampshire
Deft.
Sheen. I really like how Martin's lacquer dries so quick.
I have not used Martin's.
Well, if you want to use Martin's and you're in the States, you're going to have to go to Jeff or is it World of Wood in Texas?
Woodworld, Craig at
Woodworld, and you're going to have to get there very quick because Hampshire Sheen is packing in their business.
Yeah, I need to make a trip over there. That's 45 minutes from my house.
Yeah,
Krylon works well too.
Yeah, the Krylon is one I don't like.
And Rust-Oleum works.
Yeah, Rust-Oleum works very well.
I've never used the Rust-Oleum, but the Krylon I have used, and I just didn't like it. I don't know. It's something different. I just the way the Mohawk and the Seymour works, it just seems to work better for me. That's why they make so many different brands, because different brands work for different people. There's that rotten area. You can see I just took it out. Just took the rot out. There it is on the back side. So a little bit of sapwood there and some bark, as well as the heartwood. There's not a lot of sapwood in this particular piece. That's it. That one little stripe is it.
Yeah,
that band gives it nice color.
Yeah,
that makes it American walnut.
Yep. Now the one I cut down in my son's yard, it's got about almost half is sapwood. But something I've discovered with our American black walnut is that white sapwood gets darker with age. So I'm not concerned about it. I will use it and enjoy it, and it'll get dark eventually. This is almost
tell you the truth, Doug. I think that's the same with a lot of woods, whether it be sapwood or heartwood. Over time, it will darken.
Yes.
I have a feeling the answer is no, but Ronald Todd asked, "Are you going to fill the void?"
No. I know Ruby wants it filled, but no, I'm not going to.
That's because I don't want my popcorn dropping out.
It won't drop out. That slot's not that wide.
Yeah, I was going to say that must be very small popcorn you've got, Ruby.
What can I say? Anyway, it looks very nice, Doug, and quite a few people are agreeing.
Get the second coat of sanding sealer on here for you. It buffed out really nice with that white Scotch Brite, which is very little abrasive. There's not much abrasive to that.
Yeah,
I
the
think
white one tends to be a polishing one.
yeah. Heard somebody the other day say they had a piece of white like that, and they said that's equal to about 400 grit. And I'm thinking, no, I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so.
About 1,500 grit in my
Yeah,
experience.
for the
Maybe.
1,500
Yeah.
to 2,000, I was thinking for the
Yeah.
white one.
Yeah.
And Michael McEwen says, "Good save, Doug."
Yeah. One of the things I meant to say this earlier. One of the things I like a lot about turning in lives with such experts as Wayne and Ruby and Todd and all the rest of you folks who are in the chat, we have this gathering of the minds, and sometimes it can really help out. Instead of having just one set of eyes looking at something, have all these eyes looking at it. And what are the possibilities? I know when I watch videos, sometimes it's I'm sitting there thinking, if you'll do this, it'll turn out great, and they don't do it, and they lose the piece. But golly, you can almost, if there was a little more light going into the bowl, you could really see that. But it's got a lot of movement, a lot of grain changes and color changes. It's going to be fine. Nice Chatoyance right there. I just touched it, of all things.
Well, you'll have to talk to your production manager and arrange to get more lights.
More lights, and I need 2 more cameras.
Okay.
No problem.
When they'll start asking for my Christmas list here shortly, and I'll say, the first thing I want to say, camera. I need 2 cameras. I thought I was getting one last year, and I didn't get a camera. I forget what. Oh, I got my compressor. I got this California Quiet compressor.
California Air. Yeah.
Yeah, it is quiet.
Yep, mine is too.
I've seen some other folks on YouTube who have one, and theirs is not quiet. And why they didn't send it back, I don't know, but I love it.
Is that a dental type compressor?
No, sir. It's a Jake has one. It's the one he has in his shop that you never hear.
All
Jake
right,
Thompson.
okay.
You never hear it when it comes on, but it's it does the job. This is a 7-gallon, I think. It's not big, so it sits right underneath my lathe. It has come on during my lives, and y'all never hear it. Now my big one, whatever that is, 15-gallon or 20-gallon, whatever that thing is, 21-gallon. When it comes on, I can't hear myself think. It's so loud.
Well,
It's
Zed's
loud.
just come in right at the end.
Hey, Zed, throw your link in real quick. Or no, you did your link yesterday or your premiere yesterday, didn't you? I've already watched it. It was good.
Happy Tuesday, Zed.
Nice chatoyance on the back. It's got some chatoyance on the inside, right there. Love that little section right there. That's just real pretty. But anyway, give that a couple more minutes to dry, then we'll buff it off and start using some lacquer on it. So anyway, there you have it, folks. Resurrected. That was definitely a healed over branch that had broken and rotted. And it was healed over. We found the rot. Definitely found the rot. It's all on this back side over here.
And
with a little
Zed
bit
has
right
just
there.
put his link in, and
Okay.
later on today, and he's turning another apricot crotch.
Another one from the one that I saw from yesterday. There's one that came out yesterday.
Yeah, there was.
Or did it come out on the wrong day, Zed? That's happened before too. Yeah, David Ellsworth didn't fill the void. You're exactly right, Dale. Oh, we did lose a great turner with Brother Ellsworth's death, but his legacy will go on. Any other thoughts or questions? Anything we haven't covered yet that we need to?
Well, one thing I'll mention, one of the reasons why I like filling the voids is because I remember very early on in my turning career, I had bowls for sale at a craft show, and a fellow came up and Basically, he said, "Are you advertising these bowls to put food in, the ones that had voids?" And he said he was a food inspector, and if I was, then he'd close me down.
Right, right. And we don't have that issue here. Um, for well, for the most part, there's the assumption that the consumer
His
has the sense that
responsibility.
God gave them, and even though we know not everybody has much sense, like putting a cup of hot coffee between your legs.
As you drive away from McDonald's?
Yeah, exactly.
And
Yeah, you
then
go
you
to
blame
McDonald's,
McDonald's for your burn.
you go to McDonald's, you buy hot coffee, you put it between your legs, and then you squeeze your legs before you get out of the parking lot and then sue McDonald's, which is why their coffee cups now say caution, contains hot liquids. Ah,
Right.
but you know,
Zed has just put in. Well, crap. It did go out. I'm assuming you went last night.
I've already seen the
Um,
premiere.
Todd is right. He is. He said, "I am a dumbass, and now have a free evening." Lol.
Oh me. Um,
Hey, it
oh,
happens.
I was going to talk about. We talking about McDonald's. If I'm sure you've noticed, they used to sell 6-packs of their chicken nuggets, and they don't anymore. And I hope, well, some of you have heard the story why. There were people like me who would go in and ask some of these kids, place an order for a half dozen. And some of these kids could not figure out what a half dozen chicken nuggets was.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, they used to sell them in 4, 6, and 10 packs. They don't do the 10s anymore, or the 6s anymore. I'm gonna have to go back and sand this edge a little bit. It's got some tool marks in it still, and I've just noticed there's some on the inside as well. So I'm gonna have to sand a little more. Then I'll redo that sanding sealer. But it's coming along nicely. The backside is gorgeous. I wish the inside looked as good as the outside. But it's well. Let me pull it off, and I can show you guys.
Now, Mike has said some worksite buckets have the warning on them. Caution: do not use as a hard hat.
That looks great.
Yeah, the outside looks really good. I just didn't get I was gotten too big a hurry on the inside, so it needs a little more sanding, but it won't take long. Another 10 minutes and it'll be great. So anyway, folks, it's been fun. It's been a good return. I will not be here next week because I have to go to Virginia for some little dinky wedding that they want me to go to. I don't quite understand. They don't even want me to have a role. They just want me there. My wife asked my son, "You want your dad to do the wedding ceremony?" My son said, "No, he can't get through it without crying." He's probably right. So I won't play a role, but I'll be there. I'll celebrate.
Lucy has just come in right at the end.
Lucy, sweet potato. All right. Well, it's been fun, folks. Like I said, next week I won't be here. Hopefully, that's the last Tuesday for a while that I'll have to miss. Job is changing. I'll find out when I get back if she's going to give me Tuesdays off. Or I told the lady who will be my supervisor, I told her I got to be out of work no later than 1 o'clock so I can be in my shop. And she said, "That's not a problem." So
That sounds
just easier.
positive.
Yeah, that section is it's going to give me a chance to do some neat stuff that I like to do anyway, and the schedule will be a little more regular. So we'll see how it all works out. But anyway, I'll be here a week from Tuesday or 2 weeks from today. That's what we'll do. All right.
Right.
Ruby, glad to have you back in country, in your country, not in our country, but in your country.
At least in our time zone.
Yeah. You're back in North America anyway now, instead of being down under. Todd,
instead of up over.
Yeah, Todd, glad you're not melting away down there and not in the flood waters. Yeah. Wayne, glad you're high and dry and doing well at this point.
Yeah, doing
And,
well. And can I just say again to everybody who is Central Texas, with all the stuff that's going on there, please keep safe.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, the waters rose high and fast, and we are praying and thinking about those families who have lost their loved ones and the ones who are still searching for theirs. There's
Yes,
still
still
a
hope.
bunch. Yes, there's still
Yeah.
hope, but not knowing is the worst of all.
Oh my.
Yep.
And so there was one family that got the news, heard the report. They got the news their daughter had died in that flood, and they were just glad to know, they weren't still searching for a missing person. So those who are still missing, we pray for those families. All right. With that, I'm going to say good night, everybody. It's been great. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Night.
Good
night.
night.
Got to remember where the buttons are. Good night,